Hey guys, your boy M.K.S back with another video. Um, Hoping God loves me and wants my love. I was thinking I hope this is not blasphemous, but I don't know what God thinks about this or what other people think about this or religious people. But I was thinking if I could give God a score out of 10, it would probably be about 6. Anyway, that's probably a bit triggered info, but I just thought I'd say it anyway. But anyway, back to my uh, ideas for Egypt to facilitate networks between Asia and Africa. I was just talking about in part 1 of my video. Hopefully people enjoyed that, whoever saw it, and I hope they'll enjoy this one and the next one, all being well. As I said before sometimes, sorry to repeat myself, but I hope I won't repeat myself too much, so hopefully someone out there will enjoy it, and I hope I get a few likes finally, and some sharing of the video and stuff like that. But anyway, getting on, continuing my list, number 11, I hope that Asian and African inventors will also come together and meet up in Egypt and talk about their inventions and how to help each other with inventions and mentor each other, and um, yeah, just look at how to help more people from Africa and Asia to invent and network together and again share ideas and invest in each other, and talk about how to get investment and what they can learn from each other, and just generally improve relationships, and also like to learn about people from neurodiversity like dyslexic and autistic people, and how they can invent things and things like that. So dyslexic inventors and things like that around the world, and how encouraging dyslexic people might help more to become inventors. And sorry, lost my train of thought. Yeah, so that sort of thing. And the reason why I chose Egypt, actually, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but is because Egypt is between Asia and Africa. Apparently, it's in both Asia and Africa, so it's the only transcontinental nation, transcontinental country or nation, or whatever you want to call it, between Asia and Africa. There are some between Europe and Asia, and the only one between Africa and Asia is Egypt, apparently. So I've read. I don't know if that's true, but I'd love to know if anyone has any more information about that. So anyway, so that's why I chose Egypt to. I think it'd be a great symbolic nation to bring these two continents together and help them to network together and things like that. I was thinking it must be quite warm today if I'm wearing a t-shirt. Normally I'm the only one who wears jumpers and that. But anyway, so number 12, I hope they'll look at how they can improve relations and how Asian and African nations can mentor each other, learn from each other, teach each other, train each other. Again, basically teach and learn from each other and things like that. So how they can empower each other to do better. 13. Sometimes I wonder if countries, nations like China and India, or places like that, can actually get along, because I know they have so much division. So it's hard to see them actually getting along. But I hope that somehow they will be able to get along. And so yeah, I hope things like this will help them to network. Number 14. I hope they'll solve problems together and network together. As I say, learn from each other and develop, and talk about what each nation from Asia and Africa wants to achieve. Number 15, I hope the goal would be to benefit Egypt, but also all of Asia and Africa, each possible nation in Asia and Africa, preferably all of them. So hopefully to include all of them at the table and help them to network with each other and get more representation international and things like that. So I hope people out there will see this idea like from Egypt, and they'll say that's a good idea. And then also other Asian and African nations, I'll say apparently Egypt's between both part in Asia and part in Africa. So I'd say other Asian and African nations would be able to, would also want to join, and they'll see this idea, and they'll help Egypt to host these events, so that towards a mutually beneficial situation. Number 16, I hope that both, like all possible Asian and African nations, will look at how they can develop their economies as much as possible, and what they can achieve, and what are the best sort of ideas to go forward, and how they can reach their economic potential, and again look towards sharing goals and work together, and be involved in international bodies and like represent each other and network together, and like possibly lobby to get seats at the UN and have more of an international voice and things like that. Again, working together, like approximately 5 billion people working together would be quite an amazing thing. Number 17, I hope they'll work together, look into what they can do to market each other, and just generally support each other in all possible ways, and share stories and ideas and all sorts of things, and use their imagination and that sort of thing, and think of creative ideas. Number 18, hopefully in time, as I say, I hope they'll think of new ideas, but also people from Africa and Asia, or Egypt itself hosting these events, could look at all potential events, what they could host, and what sort of things they could do to make things more positive for people from Africa and Asia generally as well, and how they can help each other to grow, tackle poverty, and all sorts of things like that. Number 19, as I've often said before, I hope to support Asia and Africa in almost the same sort of way, but just help Africa more in terms of technology, and help. I say for every project I hope to help Africa in, I hope to help Asia in, but only add technology for Africa. But maybe to make up for that, I'd help Asia more in other areas like science or entrepreneurship or that sort of thing. So I hope that makes sense. Number 20, as ever, I'd love to know from your ideas, and any new ideas I can cover, or anything new I could do, or basically any suggestions, or as ever, any comments welcome. I hope I didn't do too bad there, so please let me know. I'm out. Peace out.